Alright, the coffee is hot, and the Pac-Mans are packing. Oh, I don't even know what that means. Hey, speaking of pack though, go Pack, go. Gonna win the Super Bowl this year. This is, alright, today what we want to do here is dig into this gel and pull these pellets out that we shot with the Vigilante and the F4 and see what we can learn from that. So, fresh out of the shower, straight into some gel. This is Tom from Wisconsin for Everything Air Guns. Let's do it. Alright, we're going to start with a smaller piece of gel. There's only 2 pellets in this smaller piece of gel. It was this red fire there. And this one up here is a destroyer pellet. Had a couple other that were shot through this, but they shot straight through. In fact, I even shot a BB through it, but it also went straight through out of my Craftsman C11. Well, we'll get to that in the next piece of gel. Alright, so for now, I'm going to start by digging. I'll dig that first one out right there that we see. That is actually the red fire. And we'll just see if it did any deformation or anything. This is out of the Vigilante, so there probably won't be a ton. Maybe the ones later will be more deformed out of the F4. We'll see. Let's get to it. Alright, said I would start with the red fires, so let's start with the red fires. See the one on the right? It has a little gel stuck in the crevices still. But otherwise, I could hardly tell the difference. So, the one to the left, unfired. The one to the right, fired into gel. But not a lot of difference. This is out of the Vigilante, so it was only about 430-ish feet per second. And anyway, let's go ahead and look at what the destroyer pellets did into the gel. So this time we can see the unfired to the left. And the one to the right did do some deforming. Did do some expanding, fired into the gel out of the Vigilante. So that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to dig into the bigger piece of gel, and we'll first try to get the rest of the Vigilante shots out. So I think that's 3 more shots. And then we'll move on to the shots that were done by the F4, the break barrel. Much more powerful gun. Alright, see you in a minute. And just so you know, just so you know where we are, we're gonna start with that first one that just barely entered into the back. I believe that must be the pointed pellet. We're gonna dig it out and find out for sure. So that's where we're gonna start. Indeed, it was the pointed pellet. The one to the left is unfired. The one to the right was fired into gel. Not a lot of difference. You maybe see some slight compacting. Not a lot though. Alright, that's the results of the pointed. Let's get to the next 2 fired out of the Vigilante. See you in a minute. Alright, to your left, unfired piranha pellet out of the Vigilante. To the right, piranha pellet fired into gel by the Vigilante. Actually, the first one was unfired and it was not fired out of the Vigilante. So the one to the left is unfired. The one to the right was fired out of the Vigilante into the gel, which you can see some of the gel sitting just in front of the pellet. See a little bit of deformation, a little bit of discoloration. Not huge results, but remember this is shoot at a pretty low velocity. And over here, hollow points, same deal. To the left, unfired. To the right, fired into gel from the Vigilante with, again, another little piece of gel in front of the pellet almost. I don't know if you can see it, a little bit. So a little discoloration, a little disfiguration, not a ton again. Alright, so that concludes, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yes, 4, 5. So that concludes all the pellets shot out of the Vigilante into the gel. we are going to move on now to the rest of these pellets that were shot the long ways out of the F4 brake barrel. Alright, give me a minute. Start digging them out. Alright, just before I actually do, I was hoping to get one last look at some of these trajectory paths. It's not showing up on my camera as good as I wished it would. I might give you an idea. I'm not sure how it'll show up on the computer. The screen again is smaller than I'm looking at right now, so I can't tell how much detail I'm really getting. But I was hoping to sort of notice the difference between different types of pellets, what kind of trajectory path I left, but it is going to be hard to pick up on this camera. Maybe we will in another video in the future. For now, we're going to dig them out and look at the deformation of these things. Oh yeah, and before I forget all about it, I just wanted you to see that BB. Oops. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Focus it. Hopefully you can see it there. Now I'm going to back out so you can see about how far it actually went in. So that was shot from this angle here, going that way. So anyway, I almost forgot to show you the BB. I took a shot, not on film, just it was the last thing I did last night before I went to bed. I should have filmed it, but oh well. Sorry. Maybe we could film one later. All right, there's that BB. Made it back out. Yeah, BBs don't deform much. But there's a guy that made the trip. Alright, another pellet that does not deform much. These pointed pellets. This is a sable pellet. I think the people usually use these mostly for trying to like pierce through, I don't know, thin metal. We'll do some more tests with these later and see if we can find an actual use for them. So far what we've been doing, they really haven't done much. Here is the Gamma Red Fire. That one did pretty much. Lost its tip. That's its tip sitting in front. To the left is the unfired. To the right you see the tip in front, and behind the expansion of the hollow point. Let's see, do I get that upside down? I might have had that upside down. I bet you this is actually... Ooh, it's even more expansion. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the actual side we're supposed to be looking at the top. So that expanded even more than I had thought originally. Oops, now I lost the tip. Am I looking at the right one? I'm so sorry, guys. We were looking at the wrong pellet. However, it's the same situation. I flipped it, and it is expanding more than I thought. There's the tip in front. The ones I was showing you by mistake were actually the destroyers. And they are the fastest energy dumping pellet I believe I have. They are designed to expand. And they usually do it well if you give them enough power. They don't do a ton of the vigilante. But out of the F4 brake barrel, they do a lot. A lot. Probably the most dramatic pellet I have. We're going to look at the daisy pointed. So these pointed pellets are mostly meant for penetration. Not meant to really designed to expand or anything like that. They do sometimes compact a little bit, which it looks like it did a little bit. The one to the right is the fired into the gel. One to the left is unfired. I'll stand by hollow points. Is that it's never the champion at anything, but it's always one of the top competitors at. So it's just a good all-around pellet. This one didn't do much expanding this time, but If you remember, it was the one that shot the furthest this time. And the piranha was right behind it. So let's look at the piranha. So the piranha out of the 177 to the right and into some gel. The one to the left, unfired, shiny, and brand new looking. Cool stuff, man. Let's see if we can see the rest of that gel. There's the gel pile now. Ready for meltdown. The coffee has gotten cold. You can't see the Pac-Mans anymore. Remember, go Pack, go this Sunday though. All the way to the Super Bowl. You got it, Aaron. Alright, take care, guys. This has been Everything Air Guns with Tom from Wisconsin.